Oh, in a lot of my dreams, I will be walking or hiking or running. I've had ones where I'm walking around and then I'm going to get in a car, and for some reason I can't figure out how to get into the car because I'm standing and I don't know how to do that. So it's kind of like this weird mix match of like being able-bodied but also not. I would say that the moment I really realized how much trouble I was in was whenever I was getting the MRI right after arriving at the hospital, because I was in a neck brace, I was paralyzed from the waist down, I was feeling incredibly nauseous, which was probably some shock. And they wanted to put me in this tiny little MRI machine that like presses in on your shoulders, and I was getting very claustrophobic because I couldn't move, I couldn't roll over, I felt like I needed to throw up and I couldn't turn my head to do so, so I was scared like I'm gonna throw up and I'm not gonna be able to breathe, and they're not gonna know because before it felt like they had kind of left me alone for a long time while they were doing x-rays and tests, and I kept asking for help and no one would respond, and then finally someone would like show up and I'm just staring at the ceiling because I can't move to turn my head to see what is in the room, who's in the room. But upon going into the MRI, I was very nervous and my nurse was very kind, and he had a cool rag that he put over my eyes and he just kept telling me like, just relax, it won't take very long. If you need anything, just say so. We'll stop the MRI, we'll pull you out. But if it helps, you should just think about like what you did yesterday. And I realized like I'm never gonna have yesterday. And I realized that like things aren't gonna be the same. So it was really hard to try and think about yesterday to calm myself down.
It was just really surreal, I think. I mean, it was just heartbreaking. Especially because she was just such like an active person, and I know how much it's affected her. And it's just really hard. It's really hard to see one of your best friends just struggle, because I know how much it hurts you. So it was just really hard. And I don't even think it really set in for. It didn't set in for me until it wasn't at the hospital. It was when we went to see you in rehab, when you were in the rehab center. Our friend Brent and I went to see her, and I think the moment where it clicked for me was she was sitting in the bed, and I saw her pick up her legs, and I think that's where it just hit me that I've never, I mean, being somebody that has walked their whole life, you don't think about picking up your own legs. I think that's like where it really hit me, and I thought, you know, what if this is it forever? And I mean, of course, we've always been, you know, really positive, even despite everything that we've been told that, you know, she'll probably never walk again. But it's just terrifying. It was terrifying to know that could be, you know, the end of who we knew.
So I purposefully decided to stay in the Metroplex area to attend React, which is a forward-thinking nonprofit gym specifically designed to help people with spinal cord injuries and other neurological issues recover, which is a lot more difficult than you'd think because every single injury or disease affects people's bodies differently. And so it's a kind of a personal training experience. And unfortunately, insurance doesn't cover it, but it's worth it.
My name is Kendall Hall, and I am the owner of React, which is our spinal cord injury gym where Yvonne has been coming to work out for about a little over a year now. The reason that I was, impelled to open React was during my time at Project Walk, which is another facility out in California where I went personally for my recovery because there was not a gym in Dallas. This injury is so life-changing and so life-altering, and you feel so different from the person that you once were. And then you get into a gym like React and you start meeting other people that are experiencing these same exact hardships, these same triumphs, these same weird out-of-body experience, all the stuff that goes with it.
I recently did a re-eval because whenever you first start, they do an evaluation and kind of say like how each of your muscles are doing, the big muscle groups. And on my re-eval, I scored much higher, which was very exciting. And it's great, but despite all of the recovery I have made, none of it is very useful. Like I can't stand up or even, just kick my leg out or wiggle my toes like in my shoes, which they do like to get curled up in there. So as much recovery as I've made, I have a far way to go. She has generously offered herself up as guinea pig number 1, and she is now walking with minimal assistance, sometimes mostly with a walker, for short distances. And knowing her personally, I of course believe that she is recovering.
It has made me incredibly a lot more strong, and I've regained a lot more sensation. I already had really, really defined sensation, but now it's even more acute, almost to like maybe, I don't like it as much because I'll feel more pain, whereas I used to not feel that pain. But mostly just from a muscle like strength perspective. I can walk for the first time. If you give me a walker, I can get up and take some steps until I am exhausted, which is about 30 feet. And I could never do that before, so that's really exciting.
So the traditional Chinese medicine program, which is what I am currently just starting and needing to raise funds for, is through my acupuncturist, Daniel, who Kendall found and told me about. And he has recently moved to React, so he has the acupuncture sessions in a couple of rooms up at the gym, which is very convenient. And so I go 3 times a week, and we do acupuncture, which changes daily. The prognosis is that hopefully after 9 months, I will be able to walk with minimal assistance, which means like holding someone's hand,